Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Critical Insights. Today in this video we shall discuss the comparative analysis between Kurtz and Marlow, the two prominent characters in the novel Heart of Darkness written by Joseph Conrad. In the novel Heart of Darkness, Marlow has been the narrator of his past experiences towards his journey to the Congo Basin as well as his meeting with Kurtz for the first time, whom he got obsessed over throughout his journey. Isn't it interesting to know the relationship between Marlow and Kurtz, as Marlow was quite fond of Kurtz, as what has happened towards the end of the novel was Marlow's obsession quite intact till the end, and so on. These lingering questions will together come to an end throughout this video, as we'll try to attempt a critical analysis of the relationship between Marlow and Kurtz. So let's proceed ahead. Marlow and Kurtz, they were both imperialist. By the term imperialist, we are aware that it is an exercise where one country can control or take over the power over another country, maybe for various reasons such as economical, political or social. However, Marlow and Kurtz, they were both imperialist, as they have both entered the Congo Basin as a part of the Belgian Trading Company, or in other words the Whites Company. So basically Marlow and Kurtz, they can be recognized or they can be identified as the two major characters who are reflecting each other's existence. In other words, it can also be said that Marlow could have become Kurtz if he couldn't restrain his actions inside the jungle. Marlow's obsession towards Kurtz dragged him to observe the horror death of Kurtz. Moreover, Kurtz was able to create a godlike image in the minds of the native people, though it is this desire to achieve power and divinity which turned him horrific at his own existence. However, Marlow has retreated from this faith. Basically, he has learned from Kurtz's horrifying death and Kurtz's horrific attitude of getting the power and greed through manipulating or through convincing or deceiving the native minds of the people. So yes, we can also say that Kurtz has done what Marlow can only dream of, as he has refused to return to the luxurious and comfort life of Europe, and he chose instead to pursue fortune and glory. Marlow has also remarked that, I quote, "All Europe contributed to the making of Kurtz," I unquote. And Kurtz's very existence proves this to be true, as like other Europeans, he was also involved in enterprises such as the company, where he epitomizes the greed and lust and the power which has been running him wild and go insane, that Marlow quite observes a lot in the Congo. Another more interesting fact, if you have closely observed and analyzed, that Marlow had a great admiration for Kurtz, and this admiration of Kurtz has been rooted from his faith that Kurtz is truthful, and Kurtz was also after all appalled because of the truth that he knew while he staying inside the jungle. Even he spoke of the horror that he had witnessed and committed. So basically the truth then also becomes as one of the significant themes in Marlow's mind and in Kurtz's character. And Marlow has been quite loyal, as he has a deep admiration and obsession towards the character of Kurtz, and he plans to remain loyal to Kurtz and never betray him, although he also admits that Mr. Kurtz was one of the nightmares of his choice. So in other words, it can also be analyzed that Kurtz is the repressed or idealistic desire or an alter ego of Marlow. However, the basic and the thin line of difference between Marlow and Kurtz's character is that Marlow was able to restrain from all those horrifying acts or deeds that Kurtz has done in his stays inside the jungle. However, Marlow has more deeper insight or critical insight in his mind towards these acts, and he has restrained or stopped himself from doing so. So now coming to Mr. Kurtz, who is also one of the leading characters, the other being Marlow and the narrator of the whole story. he represents many symbols in the novel. He symbolizes the greed and the commercial mentality of the white people of the Western countries, and he also symbolizes the white man's love for power. So at the end, Marlowe chooses to allow Kurtz to be buried in a muddy hole because he can't stand to be reminded of what Kurtz had become. This is ironic. Why? Because Marlowe has begun to become less civilized at this portion of the novel, and Kurtz is quickly buried in the muddy hole to prevent the cannibals from eating him. So, if we see the Kurt's character, he can be said to have be the part of a tragic hero, as Kurt's tragic flaw, his greediness, also makes him excessively prideful. Thus, like Okonwo in the novel Things Fall Apart, the classic flaw of hubris, in other words, it is also known as excessive pride, it plays a great role in Kurt's downfall as well. For instance, when he sees the natives demonstrate far more concern for the welfare of Kurtz than do most of his countrymen, thus Kurtz is more aptly described as a tragic hero and a hero who succumbs or who falls prey to his own downfall by digging his own graveyard. However, Marlowe is a 32-year-old sailor who has always lived at sea, but this novel's narrator presents Marlowe as a meditating or as a deep, insightful person because his experience in the Congo have made him introspective and to a certain degree a philosophic and a man of wisdom. So here we end the critical analysis of both the characters Marlowe and Kurtz. However, the comparative or the contrastive characteristics between them. I hope you have liked the whole video. For more such insightful answers, please subscribe to my channel and also like, share. So thank you.